It's not that sick. Because I'm
not
here
gonna
now.
agree
Like,
with you,
I just left 35, right? And it's like,
You're getting up there.
well, all right. But,
All right, all right. All right, it's time to get into it. Episode 116. Let me see. I think we have everything pulled up, I believe. Okay, yeah. It says running smoothly. Okay. Shout out to everybody who's taking the time out of their, afternoon to tune in to my latest episode. Of course, if you're not able to catch the whole thing, it will be up on all platforms after the fact, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those different links. Just click my link tree in my bio for whatever platform you listen on. Alrighty, and now I'm gonna check Twitch, see how we doing over there. Okay, I appreciate the returners who stopped by. Alien Gathering, Ian Fatue 42. I think I said that right. Hopefully, Stream for I can't say that, but I definitely recognize all y'all names. So appreciate you taking the time out of your afternoon to tune in to me, giving my latest take on hip hop and gaming. Is make sure YouTube's still running smooth. Alrighty. For the people over at Wisdom, I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your afternoon to listen to me talk about hip hop and gaming, because we're definitely going to get into a lot of different topics. Kind of more of a trending type of hip hop and gaming topics, because usually I like to pick games that either came out, but this is more of like news. So we're going to be getting into well, I haven't started yet, so just know that when I get into my episode, for the most part, people over at Wisdom can join in as a guest, and then I can edit you into the episode after the fact. But for the people over at Twitch and YouTube, just know that whenever they join in as a guest, if they join in as a guest, you won't be able to hear them, but you will be able to hear them after the final product, which is when I post it on my podcast platforms. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, checked on the stream. Alrighty, I guess it's time to get into the episode. Also, for my people over at Wisdom, some of the audio elements you won't be able to hear, like some of the sound effects I use, or if I use an interview. But I'm not using like a whole interview, but like if I use a clip from an interview and I'm like reacting to it, you won't be able to hear that part, because of course I'm playing it from my laptop. But yeah, I wonder when will Wisdom get a desktop app. I always have trouble saying desktop, but you know, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. But the mobile thing is fine, of course. I do enjoy being on Wisdom. Let me see. All right, so people coming in on YouTube, people coming in on Wisdom, Twitch. Okay, we're good. All right, let me just start, because I mean, whether you catch the whole thing or not, it will be up after the fact on my podcast platform. So this is just more of like an extra element, so if people want to interact while I'm creating the episode. So let me turn the music off. Okay, and then let me go to this right here. Hold up, do I have that on my soundboard? I should have that on my soundboard. I do. Cool. Alrighty. So once again, this is episode 16. So whenever I start, I'm going to be going through my intro and my topics. I'm gonna take a break in between, and you'll know when I take a break because I'll probably say it. But for the most part, this is going to be me getting into my episode, and this is just a live version of it. But if you're not able to catch the whole thing, like I just said, you can catch it after the fact on my podcast platforms, and you can click my socials in my bio. They'll give you all the links to whatever platform you listen on. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, all of them, Stitcher, everything. So anyways, oh, and I'm gonna save that for the episode. Anyways, let me just get into the episode. Y'all, I already broke it down for y'all. So anyways, let's get into it right now. What's going on, internet? Analytic here, aka Dreams, and I'd like to welcome you to mine, which I call the Notorious Mass Effect podcast. I'm your hip hop / gaming news source with a little bit of R&B mixed in. But for episode 16, it hurts my heart to see the go through the process, the mental Rolodex of what it would look like to retire. So that's basically what this whole episode is based off of, and that's going to be the first topic we get into. So for the first topic, we're going to have Drake and him talking about retiring, but also getting into a little bit of the Drake and Lil Yachty interview, if that's even what you want to call it. And then we're going to move into Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and a lot of different information that's came in over the developers video, where they was giving us more in detail look about how the mechanics work and just where they're trying to take the story in general. And then we're going to transition from that and go into WB confirming over a phone call that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year. And it's not just any phone call, it's like an earnings call for investors. But you know, with investing being so easy to do nowadays, anybody can be in those earning calls. So that's how it leaked. But that's good news for me, because I'm a huge fighting game, and I would guess for some of y'all who also play fighting games. And then we're gonna finish with you know, we got to finish with some drama. It's always drama in the hip-hop landscape, and we're gonna be getting into T.I. responding to Boosie over snitching allegations. But before that, make sure to click my link tree in my bio to access my social medias and follow to keep on my latest activities. If you want to support the show financially, click my Cash App link located towards the bottom of my link tree, as it helps the show overall. Also, make sure to share this podcast, rating the show 5 stars, as this helps the show reach more people so we can grow together and affect the masses. Now let's get into the first topic, which is, unfortunately, the GOAT thinking about retirement. All right, and then that's gonna be the break, and I'm gonna get into the first topic. Where's my sound effect? Oh, here it is. Okay, that wasn't loud enough. All right, cool. We can keep that one. This makes it easier for me when I go back and edit. For the people listening on Twitch and YouTube wondering why I'm using sound effects. But okay, let's get back into it. Hold up, do I want to start with Drake with this one? I think I do want to start with Drake. I think I'm gonna start with the a snippet from the interview, because that's basically what this whole thing's gonna be about. Okay, let me pull this over here.
By the time
You're
I get
gonna
old
get
as
old as
fuck,
fuck,
what I'm
Yeah. Drake and Yachty's interview is so entertaining. Like the way they were just talking about getting old. Like if you haven't checked out my YouTube, I just posted that today, and it's doing pretty well. But basically, you know, they're just going back and forth over like Yachty eventually becoming Drake's age. I think Drake's coming to the realization that he's actually getting old. Like he's getting up there, like Yachty said. But all right, we're gonna wait for this to load. But in the meantime, between time, let me go look over at Twitch, see how we doing. Let me see. Okay, some more returners stop by. I appreciate you. 01 Ella, Alicia Dra, Alien Gathering. I appreciate you. Drapsnat, Kata. I think that's it. I think the rest I've already seen. Okay, thank y'all for taking the time out of your afternoon to listen to me break down the latest hip hop and gaming. Let me look over there. I just love how like YouTube doesn't like show you any of the names, so it's like sometimes you're just looking at the you're just looking at if people's in there or not. Alrighty, and then over at Wisdom, we're going five deep right now. People still checking out the episode. I appreciate it. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, just know I'm getting into my episode. I already finished my intro, and we're about to talk about Drake and him thinking about retiring, because it's kind of breaking my heart. So anyways, All right. Start this from the beginning. And then let me come over here. Should I scroll down? I think I should scroll down a little bit. Okay, yeah, let's put it right there. And then I'm gonna come over here.
Old as fuck. By the time
All right, cool. So for the people over at Wisdom, you won't be able to hear some of the snippets I play from this interview, but just know I'm gonna break it down after the fact, and it won't be that long.
that's fair.
All right. Let me see how loud is this.
I want to talk about shit that we kind of talk about and just shit that.
All right. All right, I'm about to get into my episode right now. Well, segment, not episode. My bad. About to get into the segment right now.
I mean, obviously, you haven't done one of these in a shit long time. So I just want to take it all over the place. A guy like you that essentially I feel like, and I don't want to,
First off, I want to say that Drake has been in his unserious arc, as a lot of people love to label it, as his last interview with Adonis, and I forget who the interviewer was, but I guess he does funny type of interviews, and it was Drake and Adonis interview. So if you look that up, you'll know what I'm talking about. But coming off of that interview and then having this interview with Lil Yachty, I think he's definitely in his unserious arc, as these quote unquote interviews are so out of left field as far as the topics and the information that we gather from it. But one of the key points that I did pull from this interview is that, unfortunately, hold on, let me see if I have any. Do I have any sad music? I don't think I have any sad music. I don't. That's tough. But anyways, the GOAT is thinking about retiring, and that's kind of something that a lot of people saw as a clip from Lil Yachty's account, and they just thought it was promo. But then, when you get into it, you realize that Drake was actually talking about retiring, because they thought Lil Yachty was quote unquote clickbaiting, but now it comes out fully, and Drake's actually explaining his thought process of retirement. So here it is, right here.
I'm not going to say has everything, because no, reach so many, is there material as a man?
I think I'm at the point now where I just want to, like, and I feel like maybe we talked about this the other day, but I feel like I'm kind of introducing the concept in my mind of a graceful exit, like, and almost just kind of, I feel like a lot of people that I've watched as the years have gone on, it's a really addictive, competitive space, and oftentimes you're like addicted to the competition itself.
And that's where it got me. I think that Drake has been dominating for so long that he's kind of looking at his competition, and he was like, it's not even close now. Like, maybe I should just try something else. Like, maybe I should try to master another field instead of just completely dominating the music field. And of course, some people will be like, Drake's not dominating music field. I mean, you have Kendrick coming, you have J. Cole. I mean, if we're talking about hip hop, Kendrick, J. Cole, numbers wise, statistically, objectively, is nowhere close to Drake when it comes to sales. But then when you break out of hip hop and look at the music landscape, you can see the likes of Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, of course. Who's other ones? I would say Rod Wave, but not at Drake's level, but he's up and coming. Like, Rod Wave is doing arena tours, so I don't think like people realize how big Rod Wave is. But the two artists I want to focus on is really Bad Bunny and then Taylor Swift. So of course Taylor Swift has been around, but Bad Bunny has just started to break records touring. Like, he's broke records for like the most money made in a month via touring. So when you start to realize that your competition is no longer in the hip hop realm, is in the music field, it's kind of like, how long do I want to just keep competing for that top spot? And that's why I think the phrase graceful exit is used by Drake, other than, oh, when I'm knocked off my throne, or when I'm knocked off number one. Because technically, if we're only talking about hip hop, I don't think Drake will ever be knocked off of his top, knocked off at number one when it comes to sales. Of course, I don't know if you've looked at the top earning or the top selling artists of all time. There's Drake, there's Eminem, and then there's the rest of the hip hop rappers. Now I want y'all to, because I don't want to make it, you know what, but I just want y'all to look at, you know, the complexion of Drake, the complexion of Eminem, and then start to realize that when we're talking about hip hop, there's not going to be any rappers that really outsells Drake and Eminem. And I could hear somebody coming in and be like, but what about Jay-Z? But what about Kanye West? And when you think about Jay-Z and Kanye West, you think about the business aspect of Jay-Z. I think he just sold like a portion of his liquor brand or whatever. Like he does those type of investments. And then Kanye, his impact sales wise is not even, well, Jay-Z too. The impact sales wise when it comes to music is not close to Eminem and Drake. But when you include the business side, and then the different joint ventures they've done, like with Kanye and Adidas, like the most prominent example, that puts them on another level of revenue than some of the other rappers, you know? So when you're talking about earning, when it comes to money, they can be in that conversation, of course. I mean, was Jay-Z like one of the first black billionaires? But when it comes to money made strictly off music, like strictly off music, it's Drake and it's Eminem. And y'all tell me why that is. I mean, I'm not trying to say that they don't make good music at all, but you know, sometimes when you have, you know, the complexion for the protection, then your sales and your reach is just gonna have a wider range than some artists who they look at and they don't really relate to. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, I didn't want to make that a deep conversation. Let's get into Drake explaining his graceful exit even more.
And so, you know, you'll like, sometimes it'll baffle you, like, why are these people still making attempts at, like, trying to be present in the space? And then you'll realize, like, they probably, their needs and desires and their soul was probably fed for so long off of being a guy or the guy that they can't let it go. And so I guess, like, what's left for me is just to find a way to gracefully continue. Like, I'm not ready now, but to gracefully, like, continue making.
And once he said that, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, I'm glad Drake's not ready now. Because if he would have said I'm about to retire in the next 1 to 2 years, like on some LeBron James type tip, I would have broke down. I don't know if I can handle LeBron and Drake retiring at the same time. I don't know if I can handle it. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can call me emotional. You know what I mean? You can call me all type of names, but one type of name you can't call me is crazy, because these are the GOATs of the generation. And whenever you see GOATs retire, it has to have some type of effect. Like, even when iconic legends, I'm not even gonna name any, but even when iconic legends pass away, the type of impact that has on people is like a real impact. But obviously on a much lesser scale, when they retire, it has a lesser impact as far as the passing away one's kind of rough. But when they retire, you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, when they retire, you have that same but lesser impact of really impacting people's lives. Like, I know people who like stay up to listen to Drake when he first drops his album. I know people who be counting the number of games that it's going to take for the Lakers to get into the playoffs. Like, the reason I'm comparing LeBron and Drake is because they're the two that I can mostly compare that are in their field, and none of their peers are close. Like, to get somebody who's close to them, you have to go way back in time. And I don't know if there's any other field that I can like directly point besides LeBron and Drake as far as being way ahead of their peers. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a sad day in history whenever Drake retires, and it's kind of interesting that he's kind of bringing that up now, because what Drake is like, was it 2023? So Drake is probably like 20 plus years in the game, I think, maybe even more, maybe even more. I know he's been in the game for 2 decades, so it was at least 20 years. But I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. But so Drake's been in the game for a while. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I mean, if you look up Drake's age and Lil Wayne's age, I mean, I think they're only separated from like 2 to 3 years. So it's like Lil Wayne's not that old and Drake's not that young. You know, it's kind of like Drake's been in the game for a while. So I think at the end of the day, when you really get into Drake and getting into his graceful exit, it's a sad idea, but it has to happen at some point, even with the greatest of all time, which is why I even brought up LeBron. And over at and just in general, I just feel like we really have to understand how these type of iconic artists really impact people as far as a whole. And over at Wisdom, we do have a person wanting to join in as a guest. So this is gonna be the first time me doing this. So hopefully I can make sure to edit this right to put him in as well. But we're gonna add. Let me see. We're gonna add Charlie. I think that's what his name is. Yeah, Charlie. And we're gonna see what he has to say about this topic. So give me 1 second. And for the people over at Twitch and YouTube, you won't be able to hear when people join in as a guest. So just know that after the fact, I'll put them in the actual episode. But hey, Charlie, how's it going?
It's doing good before I do that on the mic, but they want issue for their voice.
Yeah, we was trying to like right now I was getting into like Drake and him retiring, and what's your thoughts on that?
I
I'm glad you say that. Artists do not retire. Like if you think about it, artists never actually retire when they say they're gonna retire. Yeah, even with Jay-Z, I mean, he said he was completely done, and then he came with 444. So we was like, I thought you was retired. Yeah, God did last year. Should have won a Grammy, by the way. I'm sad it didn't. That was definitely one of my favorite tracks of the year. Yeah.
there was all kinds of rituals in that lost watching some people who got awards.
Yeah, the Grammys is a tricky thing because for me, I look at the behind the scenes and I feel like it's a lot of politics as far as if you don't perform, you won't get a trophy, or if you do perform, you get a trophy, which is why I think Beyonce even showed up because they told her she was going to win. And I don't think they necessarily told her what award she was going to win because I think she probably won the best album of the year. But with Jay-Z not winning any awards for God Did, it's kind of like one of those things where it's very politics driven just to get them there because they know the ratings is not going to be where it should be if the stars aren't there.
Reason why around the table, right?
Oh, Lizzo, yeah. Yeah, I feel like if politics was taken out of it, we'll get more honest awards when it comes to like the best product. Because I honestly think that the album of the year should have went to Bad Bunny because the way he ran 2022.
Now, me personally, I didn't listen to Latino. I don't get it. Yeah, he got some pretty true stuff. I'm a Yankee. There was another person, Ben Bunny. Did get
No, I think Bad Bunny got like I think he got like one of the Latin awards. I forget. Yeah.
so I get that. Working or not.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So there was no real showcase going of it. Like favorite rappers, and there was some rappers their
Yeah, the whole it seems like you watched the award show more than I did because I caught like bits and pieces of it.
and that's all I watched.
Yeah, yeah, no, the performances are definitely the best part. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming in because I feel like when people come in as a guest, it adds a different perspective. And you know, sometimes I don't like to be the only one just talking. But also, I was wanting to circle back to Drake retiring. And did you have any like other thoughts on that? On him thinking about retiring?
That he got the album weekend. If he got body like Michael Jackson, Thriller album, he could have retired on that for the rest of his life, but he didn't. You know, nobody bugged him for music. Probably. Do you think Drake got the body of work?
Yeah, I'll definitely say "Take Care" and Nothing Was the Same. It's the two albums that allows him to like just retire and be considered a legend.
He he's too young to retire. I'm 45. He's still
Yeah, I mean, you heard him in one of his raps. He said, you know, he planned to retire at 35. Is already funded, but now he's 36 still rapping. So, you know, I don't think he's really made up his mind on when he wants to retire. But I definitely want to get back into in wrapping up the segment. But I definitely appreciate you joining in to give your perspective. Is there anything you want to shout out as far as like where people can find you on social media? Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Charlie. Alrighty, that was great. See, I love when guests come in and give their perspective, and he was well informed too. He was way more informed about the Grammys than I was. Like I saw different performances and I saw the winners, but it seemed like he watched all the performances. So I'm glad he joined in. So that was Charlie, by the way. He didn't give his socials, but you know, if you come over to Wisdom, you would have seen his profile pop up. But what else? Okay, so there was one more thing I was wanting to get into with this whole
Making
Drake
projects that
situation.
are extremely like interesting and hopefully cherished by people, and then
Okay, so yeah, let's just finish this part about him talking about his graceful exit. So Drake gets into even more detail because this man can unpack some, can he? This man just talking about graceful exit like we don't understand what he's saying. But anyways, let's get more into his explanation.
projects that are extremely like interesting and hopefully cherished by people, and then to find the right time to say, like, I can't wait to see what the next generation does. I'll still be around to, like, you know, work with people or do a show here or there, but I'm not going to, like, force myself to compete. I would love to just see what the next generation does whenever that time is. So I guess, like, that's like the one thing that I like want for myself really badly.
All right, so that's basically him wrapping up his thoughts about his graceful exit. So to give my overview thoughts on Drake retiring, I think that he's definitely a little tongue-in-cheek when it comes to that word retiring. I think maybe putting out music less, because if you I mean, if you think about it, Drake put out 2 albums last year. In a span of a year, Drake put out 2 albums. I mean, if you think about some of the top lyricists, well, lyricists quote unquote, in his lane, it takes them like 5 years to make an album. So maybe Drake's just talking about slowing down the production as far as OVO and him actually giving his his signed artists some more shine and not just taking up the whole music landscape. So I think that's what he means, just not putting out as much music. But as far as Drake retiring, he's definitely capping. But anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. Also, I want to shout out to Charlie one more time for joining in and giving his perspective, because that was definitely needed, and I'm glad he came in and gave his 2 cents. But anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Drake and the Lil Yachty interview as a whole? And do you think that Drake will actually retire from music? Okay, now we're gonna get into Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and some new information that just came through with their new developers breakdown. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Let me see. Where is this at? I need that louder. Okay. Do that for the recording. Alrighty, let me see. Now let's get into Suicide Squad. People are really killing this Suicide Squad game. I don't know why. I watched the little developers video, and the game looks fire, but I don't know. People are killing this game. I think it's because it's the what's it called? The whole multiplayer aspect. I think that's throwing a lot of people off, because we've had Avengers, which, you know, that was trash, but then we had Gotham Knights, which I didn't even think was that bad, honestly. But some people did. So yeah, unfortunate. Alrighty, so let me pull up this article and then we're gonna get into it. What in the world? You just not loading nothing. Okay, it's okay. I'm about to say, come on now. I know my internet is it's pretty solid now, so let's not slow it down. Should have played the audio aspect of it, but I don't know if YouTube would take me down if I play the interview, and if I play a game from the Suicide Squad. Like, I don't know how that works. I'm not trying to get taken down off YouTube, so I'm just gonna play it safe. But yeah, let me look. Let me look over at Twitch, see how we doing. I like to check over at Twitch because it shows me the name of people who stop by. That's pretty cool. Alrighty. Wisdom, we're going 16 deep. That's nice. That's nice. Let me see. Okay. And once again, I like I'm live. I like that I'm went live on Wisdom, because the whole reason I even do this is because, like, I really don't have to, because my podcast platforms is like my biggest platform. But I like to do the live streaming aspect because it's like when we just had Charlie for that last segment, like that whole just avenue of somebody being able to come in and give their perspective. I wanted to have that, like, just in case somebody had some that was contrary to what I had to say, and they actually knew what they was talking about. So that's why I do this whole live streaming thing. So, but so yeah, so that was a good one. I like that segment. But anyways, all right, let's get can't wait. Let me see. Yeah, we got it. Let's get into the next topic. Oh, hold up. Do I want to start with this trailer? I may start with this trailer.
Bust something up! Luther, all you have to do is...
Nah, we're gonna save the gameplay for another one. We're just gonna get into the news. All right, let's get into it right now. So the Suicide Squad just had a developer showcase, which they broke down some of the more hidden mechanics in the game, because a lot of people just saw that. So there was a leak that came out, and for people who was into the gaming industry, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, there was a picture showcasing that there was a battle pass for Suicide Squad. Now I know what you're saying. If there's a battle pass for Suicide Squad, that means that's going to be like Avengers, and it's going to be a Gotham Knights. Like, it's just going to be a complete trash game. Like, it's just going to be atrocious, right? But if you watch the developer showcase, I believe that Suicide Squad has some different type of mechanics that can save the game. Now, first off, I don't want to compare it to Avengers, because that game is complete just cash grab, throw a bunch of A-list superheroes for your money. That was a complete waste of time. Gotham Knights, I think, was an honest attempt of making a multiplayer game enjoyable without having to pay for enjoyment. For Suicide Squad, this is made by Rocksteady. Like the same people who made the Batman games. Like, this is made by Rocksteady, like the same team that made Arkham Asylum, basically all the Batman games, like Arkham Knight, all of them. And this is a continuation after Arkham Knight, I believe. And so when you include that fact, I think you have to give this game a benefit of the doubt. Like, this team has made too many classics for you to just write them off because it's a multiplayer game. Now, have they made a multiplayer game before? No. But apparently, the people who made Hi-Fi Rush never even made a rhythm-based action shooter before. Like, it was more of, they made a like, if you look up the creators for Hi-Fi Rush, they made some other genre type of game which completely flopped before they made Hi-Fi Rush. So developers are not to be boxed in when it comes to their creativity. So for Rocksteady, I don't think it's a stretch from Rocksteady to go from a solo Batman game to a multiplayer Suicide Squad game which involves the Justice League. Like, this is not just some budget off-brand video game where they can't use certain characters because they're for the big companies. Like, they're that company. Like, they're the company that's going to be using Superman, Flash, Batman for the foreseeable future. And who knows, the critique and constructive feedback they get from this game could just bear with me, could be used for a future Justice League game. Like, is nobody thinking about that? Like, a lot of people are killing this game not knowing or not even thinking of what can come down the pipeline. Like, if Suicide Squad does amazing, you don't think we're going to get a Justice League game 2 to 3 to 4 years from now? Probably 2 to 3. 4 is kind of a lot. But 2 to 3 years from now, you don't think we're going to get a Suicide Squad with the same type of look and graphics? Like, I feel like Rocksteady is setting themselves up for another classic run. You know how they had their classic run with the trilogy of Batman? I think they could have the Suicide Squad, Justice League 1, and then the next the next video game could be a mix of the most popular Suicide Squad members and some of the Justice League into like an overarching I'm getting kind of ahead of myself, but you get what I'm saying. Like Rocksteady is known for world building and building off of their last installment, which is why in Suicide Squad, this is literally the same Batman from all the beloved Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum video games. So with that being said, they showed off some co-op gameplay in the trailer, and it was a lot of shooting going on. I didn't know it would be that much shooting. I thought it would be more like hands being thrown, especially from Harley Quinn and Boomerang. Like, of course, Harley Quinn does use the hammer, and Boomerang does use his boomerang, but but there was a lot of shooting going on. So I mean, you know, I kind of got like what was it, Sunset Overdrive type of vibes as far as like the amount of shooting and just transversing the environment was going on. Like you're really on the move a lot while you're shooting, and I don't know why that reminds me of Sunset Overdrive. Like that's the only game that's done it. Maybe Crackdown as well, the whole transversing the environment while shooting, as far as like super like powers are involved, like jumping and leaping over buildings and stuff, because of course all these different characters have to have a reason to why they can scale all the buildings and go to wherever they want to go. So most of these characters have jetpacks, and I think only Shark doesn't. He just jumps really high or something like that. But seriously, like I don't know what his transversal ability is, but it is Avengers-esque when it comes to that aspect. The transversing is a little suspend your disbelief, because not a lot of these characters are known for going from one city to another in just like 5 seconds. You know, it's like if it was Superman or Flash, maybe, but if it's like Batman, like, you know, it may need to take some time. You know what I mean? May need to hop in the car, you know, wait for the car to pull up. But for most of these characters, they either have a jetpack or some type of superhero leaping ability. So the overview of the game, to explain it in detail, it's basically, we're still in the Arkhamverse where all the Batman. So think of everything that you gain as far as information from the previous Batman games, like Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, you know, those type of games. So we still have Penguin. We still have a lot of villainous characters that was in that Batman Rogues Gallery. But now you have heroes like Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash. Who else? Green Lantern, who is black, by the way. You know, definitely, you know, it's Black History Month, so I had to point that out. But and then the world of the game is vastly different because it's in Metropolis and not Gotham City. So that's another reason why I like this. It's Rocksteady's take on Metropolis now that they've gotten the Gotham City down to a T. So they've moved over to Metropolis and showing the difference between Metropolis and Gotham, right? Like Gotham didn't really care for Batman. Metropolis like loves Superman. So it's like a lot of that being shown in the scenery. It's reported, I can't say it. It's reportedly much bigger than the Batman Arkham games. And what else? So the main villain in this game is Brainiac, and he's brainwashed. You know, hey, guess what Brainiac does? No, I'm just playing. He brainwashed the Justice League. So now, guess what? Suicide Squad has to kill the Justice League. Now, are they gonna kill the Justice League? Like, come on now. Like, we know what's gonna happen. But the title is fire. Like, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Like, if that's not a fire title, I don't know what is. I feel like people are just hating and don't want to have fun. And why wouldn't you want like a co-op experience while you're playing a team game? Like, if it was called like Harley Quinn killed the Justice League, or if it was called like Boomerang killed the Justice League, I'll understand. But it's literally a team name, like Suicide Squad. Like, that's a team. Like, why not have multiplayer? I don't know. Like, the amount of people who are killing Hogwarts Legacy, well, that's not a lot, but the amount of people, the small community that's killing Hogwarts Legacy for not having a multiplayer mode. Where was I going with that? I totally forgot what I was saying. That's crazy. Just killed my whole train of thought. Oh yeah, the amount of people that's killing Hogwarts Legacy for having a multiplayer mode should be the same people uplifting and just cheering that Rocksteady actually put a multiplayer into a game that's developed and based off of teamwork. Hopefully I got that across right. What else? There's something else I want to get into. Okay, yeah, Batman was gonna be like a was gonna be kept secret until the game came out, right? But Kevin Conroy, let me make sure. I don't want to just say random people passed away, but I think it was Kevin Conroy. I don't want to say the wrong person. I don't know why I keep looking up on my laptop. Like I'm not streaming from multiple places. Let me use my phone. Give me a second. All right, I think it was Kevin Conroy. I just don't want to name the wrong person, you know. Okay, yeah, it was Kevin Conroy. Okay, so when Kevin Conroy passed away, because you know he was like the iconic voice of Batman. During the Game Awards, I believe, when Suicide Squad had their trailer, they revealed it was like a Batman section. They revealed that Batman was in the game and voiced by Kevin Conroy, I believe. So that's the whole reason why it wasn't held to like before the game came out. Because when you say kill the Justice League, obviously you know the Justice League is going to be in it, but you're like, when we're going to see Batman. So they're going to save that for when you actually play the game. But because Kevin Conroy passed away and he did voice that Batman in this game, they had him come out. So basically when Batman came out, you know, they had the voice and everything. Yeah. What else? That's basically it. That's all I wanted to get into. Suicide Squad really, it's not that much to go over because I mean the game hasn't came out yet. And when does it come out? It's probably important to note. When does this game come out? This game comes out May 26th. So May 26th. So whether it's a good game or not still remains to be seen. But I think we should pump the brakes and give Rocksteady the benefit of the doubt. Like, come on now. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Suicide Squad and their latest developer breakdown of the game? And do you think that people are being too hard on Suicide Squad? Or do you think Suicide Squad is just going to be straight out trash? Now, let's get into WB confirming in an earnings call of all places that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out, wait for it, this year. All right. Let's get into Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 12. Fun fact about Mortal Kombat, that's probably one of the first games I ever thought I could go professional in. You know, as a little kid when you'd be like, man, I'm the best out. Like I was really the best out in Mortal Kombat. Like I was nice. Like I was like in Mortal Kombat X, not in all the Mortal Kombats. In Mortal Kombat X, using Sub-Zero and that ice clone, like it was just a cheat code for me. I did the same thing, and I think in Justice 2, when they had Sub-Zero as a DLC character, because they had the ice clone is my favorite move. That's why I don't like Mortal Kombat 11. They really nerfed Sub-Zero. But anyways, Mortal Kombat X, I was nice. Like I was beating people like for money. Like it was like I was a problem. Like I feel like I could have went to like one of them underground gaming spots where they have tournaments. I probably could have came out with something. I'm not saying I would have won it, but I would have came out with something. Like I was getting flawless like victories. Like it was hard to touch me, man. I ain't gonna lie. But you know, I guess everybody thinks they're nice at fighting games. I wish I had Mortal Kombat X videos of how I used to do people. Like I used to literally start up a Mortal Kombat X session and be like, okay, I'm not stopping until I finish all these brutalities for Sub-Zero. And I would beat people in specific ways. Because for people who play Mortal Kombat, you have to beat people in specific ways to get the brutality. And that's how I would do it. Because I was nice, man. I was nice in Mortal Kombat X. I think Mortal Kombat X and I'm trying to think. I can't even, like, honestly, Mortal Kombat X is probably the best game I've, like, it's probably the best version of me, like, as far as a gamer. Like, that's probably the best game like, I've ever, like, I don't even know how to frame it. Like, the best performance that I've ever given on a game, or the best I've ever played a game. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. Mortal Kombat X was just one of them. Anyways. All right, let's get into Mortal Kombat 12, man. Enough talking. Let's get into that. Oh, hold on. I'm still recording. All right, let's get into that right now. Wait, hold up. Which article do I want to use? Let's use this one. Yeah, let's use that one. I'm kind of hungry. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm kind of hungry. What's it? It's like 8:36, man. I'm starving. Ate breakfast and haven't ate anything since, man. That's what happens when, you know what I mean, run through the education system, you know, trying to get your education and do your entrepreneur stuff on the side. But anyways, I guess you just gotta starve. So, anyways, let's get into Mortal Kombat 12. Now, you're probably wondering, how in the world do you know that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year? I'm calling fake news. Like, I'm labeling this fake news because there's no way that you can know that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year without Ed Boon himself coming out and saying it. Well, all I gotta say is WB messed up, man. WB trying to build up his company to sell, which, you know, is something I got from Beyond the Trailer. Grace Randolph, if you follow her, she's just an amazing person when it comes to covering TV and movie. But that's besides the point. You know what I mean? Let me get back into my stuff. So basically, during a recent Warner Bros. Discovery earnings call, CEO David Zaslav, I think that's how you say it, mentioned that Mortal Kombat 12 is in the works and is expected to come out this year. Now, the key word is expected, so it's not like he said it is coming out this year, but if it's expected to come out this year and you're talking to investors, like, you're not just like, I don't think people understand what an earnings call is. So when you invest into a company, you get invited to different calls, so they can tell you where the company is projected to go, and like to kind of give you like a scale on like how much faith you should have in them. Like, oh, we're about to do this and that, so that's why you should invest even more money, you know, stuff like that. So I don't think they'll be lying to their investors saying that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year. Like, why would they lie to their investors? Like, they may lie to y'all, which is, you know, regular consumers like myself, but to the investors, you know, they may be a little bit more transparent, which is why this is huge news, because Ed Boon this is probably the furthest, the least, the worst way that his next installment could have got announced. Like, he was probably thinking of, you know, fireworks, you know, jumping off a plane, you know, skydiving and just, you know, popping MK 12, you know, fireworks in the air. You know, he's probably thinking of something extravagant, right? And here we go in a boring, long earnings call that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year. So yeah, so that's how we know, man. That's basically all we got. Honestly, that's like that's it. Like, you know, that's all the information. That's all we know. So basically, I just said that to say that, you know, you should really invest. You know, I really want to take this time to talk about investing, because no, I'm not getting paid for it, even though Red Circle, as far as a hosting platform, has been amazing for me. But anyways, let's keep going. Investing is just a great way to spend your money. You know, people go to a bank and they put their money in the bank and earn like 1 cent every like 15 million years. You know what I'm saying? But then you invest into a company, and I'm not talking about like, this may offend some people, but I'm not talking about no startups or no gambling type of companies. I'm talking about the ones that's well established, that you know that's going to be here for a while, like Disney, Apple, McDonald's, stuff like that. And then over time, you look back, like I just looked back to what I got, and I just, like, I'm not going to tell you how much, because, you know, the IRS may be listening, but let's just say I looked at my money in my bank, looked at the money in my stocks, and I was like, the money in my stocks is growing way faster than the money in my bank. Let's just leave it at that. So that's probably the simplest way I can. Wait, hold up. I'm not a financial advisor. So if you do all this and go broke, you're not gonna sue me. I'm not. I almost forgot to say that. That was wild. Yeah, nah, y'all would have got me. That's crazy. On Black History Month too. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Anyways, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just something I would say. Should I say that at the beginning? No, I said that at the end. So I mean, technically I said it. I don't know. You know, you can't sue me on Black History Month. Come on now. But anyways, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just something I would say. You know, investing is a great way to increase your money by what's they call it? What they call it when you go to sleep and you still make money in your sleep? Making money in your sleep, pastime. What's the word? I forget the word, man. That's how you know I'm not a financial advisor, because that person would have had it on deck. Passive income. Hey, there we go. That's what I was looking for. I ain't looked that up either. I was just thinking. But anyways, yeah. So that's what I want to get into. You know, you increase your money over time, which is AKA passive income, and then you get the latest information about gaming. You know, who would have thunk that Mortal Kombat 12 would have got leaked in an earnings call by Warner Bros. CEO? Like, come on now. I guess I can finish this off if anybody wants to join in to give their perspective on Mortal Kombat, you can. But I'm gonna use the rest of this time, if not, to talk about my love for Mortal Kombat and kind of what I was talking about when I was just thinking about Mortal Kombat as a franchise. I think the game that I've been like at my best as a gamer is definitely Mortal Kombat X. Like there was a time where I was playing Mortal Kombat X and I was so nice. I felt like I could have went to one of them underground gaming tournaments and came out with something. Like that's how nice I was. Like obviously people think they're nice all the time, but I was like playing random people like for money. Like it was like, bro, put your money up, you know what I mean? We get it in, you know what I mean? And I won every time. I'm not joking, I won every time. So yeah, man, once Mortal Kombat 11 came out, it was kind of upsetting for me because for my Mortal Kombat fans, they definitely know that Sub-Zero got significantly nerfed from MKX to MK11, and of course Scorpion, you know, is just always fire in every tier, you know what I mean, or in every game. But Sub-Zero for some reason had to get nerfed. But yeah, so that hurt my heart, man. So I didn't really play Mortal Kombat 11 like that, but I still think that I was really nice at MKX, like probably my best as a gamer. Like that's probably the sweatiest I've ever been. Like as far as a sweat, for people who don't know what a sweat is, it means a gamer who plays the game a lot. So yeah, but as far as just a straight sweat, that's probably one of the games I was just straight nerd, just bro. Like I was looking up frame like by frame, seeing what move, counting what move. Like I was, and Sub-Zero was my guy, but I also used the guy with the bow, the guy with the bow and arrow. He was nice. I used him a lot. So him, but Sub-Zero is my main. Like if I wanted a more of a challenge, I would play the dude with the bow and arrow. But when I was Sub-Zero with the little clone stuff, hey, it was hard to touch me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the way I would play would be so annoying. Like I would throw the clone at you. Like for people who never play MKX, you probably know what I'm talking about. But when you put the clone out, you can literally throw the clone, and like it'll get to the point where they get just tired of getting hit with the clone, so they'll just stand back, and I'll just throw the clone at them. I hit them with a slide. So it's so much nerd talk. But basically, if you throw the clone, you have to block high, right? And if I use the slide, you have to block low. So when you do it at the same time, I mean, obviously you can block both of them, but you have to be like really timing it. So I get them every time, man. I get them every time. That's probably that's the most sweatiest that's the sweatiest I've ever been at a game, man. Like I was just straight nerding out on MKX. So yeah, that's basically it. You know what I mean? I don't really have too much to talk about. I mean, Mortal Kombat 12 got leaked to come out this year. I mean, it's literally got no more information besides that. So I guess I can talk about Warner Bros. Being sold, or they're trying to sell it. I think they're trying to sell it. Or is that HBO? I get them mixed up. I think it's HBO trying to sell. But isn't it under Warner Bros? I don't know. Let me not get into that. Just look up beyond the trailer if you want to know about the whole selling of big companies or not. Yeah, so click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Warner Bros. Leaking in the earnings call of all places that Mortal Kombat 12 is releasing this year? So now we're gonna finish up with some hip hop drama, because you know what else is going on in hip hop besides people just calling each other snitches. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we're gonna get into T.I. responding to Boosie over snitching allegations. Alrighty, last little segment. Cool. I had a lot to pull out with this Boosie stuff. Like if y'all know my YouTube at Analytic Dreams, my Boosie I think it's T.I. My T.I. interviews are going crazy. I think my Drake interview is going crazy right now too, like as we speak. Like I just dropped that like at 2 p.m. I think it's still going crazy. But I don't know, I had to look. My YouTube's been doing really well. I do say so myself. They are shorts though, so but I mean YouTube is coming out with some type of monetization for shorts, so I can't wait for that. That's gonna be like that's gonna be bank for me. I'm not gonna say I got hit up for an ad for Diablo Immortal. It has any creators got hit up for an ad for Diablo Immortal? I don't know. I looked at the game. I was like, is this a scam? Like, is this a real game?
But it can't.
Anyways. Yeah, man, they try to hit me with a scam, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, we're gonna say that one. Oh, you know you're about to cover drama when you're using academics as a source. We love DJ Academics over here. Well, pause, but you know, y'all get the point. Let me see. I gotta pull up this picture because this is hilarious. I feel like T.I. and Boosie's doing this for promo. I don't know, maybe they're not. All right, I'm about to put this up. I shouldn't get taken down on YouTube because this is my video, so they take me down. You know, that's unfortunate. Let me pull this up.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
Oh, trying to hit me with an ad. That's crazy. All right. Okay, we're about to get into T.I. versus Boosie because, you know, that's what everybody wants to know about. We play this video first. All right, I'm about to get into it right now.
But it came from a conversation that my partner and I were having, and that conversation was, hey bro, if me and you catch a case together and I die before you, it's mine.
Right.
It's mine. He's like, nah, I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's mine. Why can't you?
Right.
I don't understand it.
Dead man can't go to jail.
I just don't understand it.
Right.
You understand? I mean, and he said, nah, I can't do it. You know what I mean? He said, man, I can't really say nothing about anybody who do, but I can't do it. So off of that conversation, I created a set of circumstances. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought that the embellishment was clear when I said I talked to my cousin and he told me.
They didn't get the satire in the conversation. They didn't get the change of inflection of voice. They didn't get the fact that you was basically being sarcastic.
Humor, sarcasm,
Satire might be too much.
T.I. love using them big words, don't he?
Yeah,
He was fucking around.
Because
All right. So basically, yeah, T.I. was caught in 4K capping once again that he was not snitching on his dead homie, even though he said he was snitching on his dead homie, which if I can pull this up, let me see. By the way, this is off my YouTube channel, so y'all should follow, you know what I mean? At Analytic Dreams, that you can see right there, you know what I'm saying? Just dropped the Drake one, you know what I mean? I am live right now, but this probably won't be up after the fact. But as you can see, you know, the views looking kind of nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. But anyways, here's the other thing from T.I. that he said.
I have a gun. Why are we going through the court process? And so we caught no gun cases. Two died. And, you know, my lawyer said, well, you know, I can make everything go away if it was Tremel's. After he had passed, I had a talk with him.
What to say?
After he passed, he had to talk with him. So apparently, you know, T.I. is the second coming of Jesus, because, you know, he's talking to people in the current life and the past life. That's crazy.
I take all the charges you got. If you could walk away free and put it on me, goddamn right.
He said, if you could, hey, hold on, he was spitting right there. He said, if you could, hold on, can I run that back?
Right.
So is that what boys giving you shit about because you put it on?
Nah, hell no.
Okay.
Nah. Don't nobody even know about that. I just volunteered. This
And he just volunteered that answer, kind of like he volunteered some other information. But, you know, it's okay. It's all right. I'm a law-abiding citizen. So I don't really call it snitching. Like the like the Notorious academic says. He says he calls it truth telling, which is something I would definitely label it. I mean, if somebody robbed me I'm calling the police and I'm telling them the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, I'm not in that line of work where I would have to lie or not cooperate with the police. Now, of course, as a black man in America, the whole relationship between the police, isn't the greatest. You know what I mean? If I do say so myself. But when it comes to cooperating with law enforcement to get your car fixed off of somebody else's insurance because they hit you, or to get something to get somebody put away because they're trying to break into your home, there's ways to not condemn snitching in society as black people, because I feel like this whole snitching argument is only from a certain demographic and it's centered around gang culture. But you know what the problem is with that? Everybody is not in a gang. And when Takeoff died, everybody left the scene and nobody cooperated with the police. And then more information came out that people came after the fact to talk to the police that weren't even in the gang. They just left because everybody else was leaving. So this whole gang culture is very influential on people who are non-gang members, and that's the key that I want to get into. A lot of people want to claim, oh, he snitched. Like, are you in a gang? Like, if somebody's saying like, oh, this so and so snitched, so I can't listen to him, the first question I would ask them is, are you in a gang? Because at that point, if they say yes, then you're gonna have to let that brother be, because non-law abiding people will do whatever it takes to get ahead in life, and I'm not trying to be no victim. You know what I'm saying? So as a law abiding citizen like myself, I feel like when you get into T.I. versus Boosie, you have to understand that both of these people are from the gang life, so it makes sense. Boosie said on a DJ Vlad interview that he's canceling the album that he did together with T.I. because he cooperated with the police. And Boosie even said, quote, well, I don't have to say quote, I can play the actual interview. Yeah, so I'm gonna play the whole interview and then we're gonna pick it up from there. So here's Boosie talking about. Y'all want to see the comments on my video? Hold on, let me see. Somebody said, oh, I definitely can't read that. Hold up. Yeah, no, I got 20/20 vision, but I can't see that. That is small. Okay, here we go. After he passed, he said, put it on me. A dead man told him to do that. Yo, people, this comment section's funny. This dude just snitches on himself at will. You are on video exposing how you lied in court, literally admitting you were the culprit. Man, people using sophisticated words and everything to condemn T.I. You love to see it. Anyways, let's look at the other one. Let's look at the comments, because I love looking at the comment section. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, somebody just said basically T.I. in the cap emoji. So they said T.I. cap. And then somebody else said, I seen a lot of guys wake up explaining. Okay, I don't know what that means. But yeah, okay, so that was it for the comments. But let's get into Boosie. Let's get into Boosie, because it was tripping with this one. I know Vlad's tripping with this one. This man had an 8-part interview with Boosie. He's releasing it in 8 parts. Like, he's literally taking part by part by part to release this interview. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, this is what Boosie had to say about the whole T.I. situation. Hopefully I don't get taken down. I don't think Vlad will take me down, will he? I don't know. You never know with Vlad. He's hey.
You had a mostly completed album, and then this came out.
Yes, bro.
Did you and T.I. have a conversation about it?
No, bro. Last time we talked, he said we ran across streets.
And you can hear the pain in Boosie's voice, too. He's like, no, bro, we ain't had no conversation before that. Like, listen to this man.
Say, man, we gonna talk about the album. You know what I'm saying? That was the last thing we talked about, but man, it was bad timing, bro. Like, we finna put this shit together. Real smoke, bro, and you going there.
Real smoke.
What I stand on, you go on a fucking interview and say that?
Well, you even said that this album was...
You know, the great Rod Wave once said, what did he say? I forget what he said. I think he said, like, through all the hard times I've been through, that's why I got hard times tatted on me or something like that. I think that's what he said. So this is basically Boosie going through a hard time. Because imagine making a whole album with somebody, and he just goes and says something that's completely against your culture in your way of life. Because Boosie is, I'm not trying to be the feds. I think everybody knows that Boosie is, maybe affiliated with somebody, allegedly. Let's just say that. So he could feel some type of way to what T.I. said more than our average law-abiding citizen. So that's why this whole beef makes sense. But Boosie explaining this is just so funny.
With T.I. is better than Drake and 21 Savage's album.
Smoke. That's how good this motherfucker is. Me and Tip hard to get up to. Bro, Smoke, bro, his talent, bro. But
I'm not gonna lie, they are hard together. I think there was a track with Young Thug, Boosie, and T.I., and that's like a certified classic to this day. Just look up Young Thug, T.I., and Boosie. I forget what track it's called. It may be off of Barter 6, but that track is a classic. Like Boosie and T.I. really, I think their inflection is really makes the track more dynamic, because the way that Boosie sounds, of course, and the way that T.I. sounds, like them together, I ain't gonna lie, that he could, sometimes old heads, I'm not gonna call Boosie old, it's kind of, it's kind of messed up, but for the most part, let me take this off the screen before Vlad takes me down. I think that my bad. I think that when most old heads say, oh, this is better than so and so, or this is better than your whatever you listen to currently, I think they'd just be hating. But Boosie and T.I., like, some of the greatest, rappers when it comes to making rap music, not like actually like lyricists, but I mean, some people would say T.I.'s quote unquote lyricist, but as far as Boosie and T.I., all I'm saying is I can see where their collab album could be on that level as far as impact, because Boosie is in the news every day for everything other than music. I mean, he was just calling the head of Instagram like Zuckerberg, you know what I mean? Like, this man just makes news from not even putting out music. So him and T.I. could have put out something that was just straight flames. And it's sad that the situation had happened, because as a law-abiding citizen, I would love to see the snitching era of hip-hop be put to rest. Because first, Notoriously, I mean, he may have just spurred the whole thing. Honestly, we may have to blame Tekashi 6ix9ine for this whole wave of just snitching for clout. Because Tekashi 6ix9ine did it in the most outlandish way ever. Like, just being on the stand, finger pointing, like the meme, like literally just pointing at certain people. Like, the judge is like, can you point to who did that? And then, before he even finished the sentence, Tekashi 6ix9ine just stood up and just pointed right at him. So now you have like the whole Gunna situation. The whole Gunna situation with YSL, and he apparently, gave us some information so that he could go home. And now we have the whole T.I. situation where T.I. gave up some information so he didn't have to go to jail. So this whole snitching saga in hip hop, I mean, of course, there's other ones like YSL Mondo, which that was wild. Like, I don't even want to speak on that, because he probably gets so many death threats to this day from YSL, because he had like a 9-hour video of just telling, just straight, just like a telethon. Like, honestly, it was like one of them, like, he probably had to stretch, get up, I don't know what Mariah Carey does, but wherever her vocal routine is, he probably had to do all that and then just start telling police everything. So what YSL Mondo did, hey, I'm glad I'm not in the gang life. But anyways, there was some other people who snitched as well. They was talking about 1090 Jake. I mean, he, like, literally, 1090 Jake is the person who exposes rappers for snitching. You know what? I just thought of this. I had a tweet, right, that I put up about Boston Richie, I think that's how you say it, snitching from 1090 Jake. And tell me why one of the people under his management, I swear to you, I cannot make this up, hit me up and was basically cussing me out. And they didn't give no death threat, so it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was cussing me out, talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about, if call my phone, stuff like that. Like, he literally said call my phone, but he didn't give me no phone number. I was like, obviously I'm not gonna ask for your phone number after you cuss me out. I've never said this on live before, but yeah, I put out there. If you even look at Boston Richie, Notorious Mass Effect Twitter, like literally my tweet is one of those that could be like used as far as like trending and why Boston Richie got so much flack. Of course, academics was probably number one, but as far as tweeting about Boston Richie, if you go on Twitter, look up Boston Richie, Notorious Mass Effect, and look at the sheer impact, you can understand why his management hit me up. But now that I think about it, it may have been his brother, because I know academics was talking to somebody, and that person kind of nah, because he actually had Boston Richie on. I don't think he ever had his brother on. But basically, one of his management hit me up, and I knew it was his management because he had like a lot of followers, and it literally said Boston Richie, you know, management or whatever they was under. It was under some type of label. But yeah, man, I ain't never had that happen before. That was wild. I mean, obviously I didn't respond. I was just like, well, that man's upset, and then went on about my day like nothing happened. So yeah, that stuff don't really bother me. That's why I got into this in the first place, because that stuff don't bother me. But what else? Oh yeah, so 1090 Jake, the person who exposes people for snitching, more notoriously exposed Boston Richie for snitching. That's the thing that I tweeted out. And the person who exposes rappers for snitching, people then turned on him and started accusing him of snitching, and they actually have paperwork on 1090 Jake. This whole term paperwork needs to be left in educational situations. Like, the term paperwork should only be used is if you're in collegiate or just educational institution. Because everybody who's using paperwork outside of it is just using it in the most derogatory way ever. But anyways, so yeah, apparently 1090 Jake, the person who exposing everybody else for snitching, is also snitching, and I'm just so confused because I'm like, bro, how is he snitching if he's? And I'm just like, bro, this term snitching just needs to go away, just needs to be done forever. Like, I'm tired of it. Like y'all don't have anything else to do better with your time, but to look at people who snitching and call them out. I don't know, man. So this whole Boosie and T.I. situation is very unfortunate. Hopefully they make up and put out the album, because I feel like this is tremendous promo for the album, but I don't think the album will have too much content referring to like snitching. But I mean, if you just wanted promo for your album, then I guess that's it. But like, I don't think this is promo. Like, I think this is real smoke. Anyways, Boosie was even, you know, enjoying his day at a game, right? And T.I. basically said, boy, you supposed to be here checking this paperwork and straightening your face, or else you flaw, according to the convict law. Okay. And then Boosie said, I'ma text you, or I texted you. So he texted T.I. And then, okay, so that was like later last week or whatever. And then just recently, 6 hours ago, posted by academics. But you know, he's the feds when it comes to snitching, so this is probably accurate. Boosie said, you a certified rat, talking about T.I. of course. You was getting, oh, I can't read that. No, that's a PG podcast. That's crazy. Anyways, let's just say that T.I. had a very provocative picture of maybe T.I. sitting on another man's lap, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm just pointing out the fact that Boosie used that as a derogatory way to get at T.I. All right, so they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna make up anytime soon. After I just saw that was yeah. Cause isn't T.I. married? So that would be, anyways. Yeah, that's okay. So Boosie and T.I. is probably not gonna make up at all. That's unfortunate. T.I.'s angry. Boosie's angry. They're both digging deep for each other's secrets. And that's one thing I found out. Like, the internet, even with this, like, even with me doing content, it's like, bro, one day somebody's gonna go and pick up something that is gonna be completely taken out of context and just make me look crazy. Like, I just know that's gonna happen one day. But for the most part, for Boosie and T.I. to be doing that to each other, knowing what they go through respectively because they're both famous, it's unfortunate to see two musicians like Boosie and T.I. going through this whole snitching back and forth and who snitched and who didn't. And at this point, I would hope it will be promo for the collab album, but considering what Boosie said on Vlad, it doesn't look like it. Like, let's get back into what Boosie was saying about T.I.
But you know, like he hurt me with that one, bro. You know, like, bro, like, from me, I was just really trying to figure out. I was like, man, I think this fucking dude is lying. I think he just went up that motherfucker and, like, why would you? I don't know.
Look. I mean, the whole argument
I didn't get
of why.
And then you hear the excitement in Vlad's voice, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got another I got more drama from Black Man. Like, you know, Vlad is sneaky with it, but you know what he be doing. But yeah, nah, the excitement in Vlad's voice was wild throughout this whole Boosie interview. That's all I gotta say. So anyways, T.I. and Boosie, they're still going through it, man. Man, pray for both of their situations, man. I don't think it's gonna turn violent at all, but I do think we may get deprived of a collab album from Boosie and T.I., which will be unfortunate, because a Boosie and T.I. album, I bet their fans will want that expeditiously. So anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Boosie and T.I. beefing? And did T.I. convince you that he was in the right after responding to Boosie over the snitching allegations? Getting into the overview of the pod, of course, I had to start with the GOAT, because this news cannot go unchecked. This man said he was thinking about retiring, and you know when Lil Durk said, I fell down to my knees when the law came? Man, I almost fell down to my knees when Drake said he was retiring, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But anyway, so I got into that whole conversation. I also had a feature, I don't want to say his name wrong. I definitely forgot. Oh, man. I wish it would show me the people who was... It's not showing me. That's unfortunate. Well, let's just say that I had a guest for that one. Not like a guest, but I had a person join in, and he gave his perspective on the whole Drake retiring, and we got into some of the Grammy aspects of we got into some aspects of the Grammy Awards, and what he had to add was very insightful, and I'm glad that he was part of that conversation. Then we got to Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, and I got into the developers showcase, and basically them breaking down different mechanics of the Suicide Squad and what that would entail going forward, and how people need to stop hating on Suicide Squad and just take in the fact that it's Rocksteady at the helm and not some random development studio. Then I got into WB confirming that Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year via an earnings call, of all places. Imagine that earnings call. I'll bet people was gasping and everything. Like, you can't even make too much noise during the earnings call, because I don't even think they can hear you. Like, you literally just listen to the dude talk. But anyways, then we ended with T.I. responding to Boosie over snitching allegations. So that's about it for the episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Notorious Mass Effect podcast. And don't be afraid to send me an email letting me know what you think of the show and what you want me to talk about in my next episode. Click my link tree in my bio to access my social medias and to keep up with my latest activities. If you want to support the show, hold up. Click my link tree and to keep up. Okay, I guess so. I don't know. I always mess up the outro. I don't know. I guess that's just a normal thing at this point. But anyways, click my link tree in my bio to access my social medias and follow. Bro, what in the world? I just messed up again. I can't read. My bad. I'm doing my best Floyd Mayweather impression. Give me a second. Click my link tree in my bio to access my social media and to keep up with my latest activities. Okay, there we go. If you want to, I don't know why they were so difficult. If you want to support the show financially, click my Cash App link located towards the top of my link tree, as it helps the show overall. Make sure to share this podcast and rate this 5 stars on whatever platform you are currently listening on, as this helps the show reach more people so we can grow together and affect the masses. Now, after my greatest Floyd Mayweather impression, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Notorious Mass Effect. Alrighty, that's it. So that was episode 116. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If y'all for the people over at Twitch and YouTube, hopefully y'all enjoyed the visual and just the audio aspect of it. For people over at Wisdom, let me see. Okay, we got up to 34 over at Wisdom. You love to see it. Love to see it. If y'all want to join in and give y'all 2 cents over the episode, or if y'all have any perspectives y'all want to get off, just feel free to join. Probably give it a little second for that. While I give that a little second, let me go over to Twitch and look. See how we looking. Oh, we have some new names. Is a B and Jody Moon. Appreciate y'all for taking the time out of your afternoon to listen to me talk about hip hop and gaming. I just wrapped up the episode, but if you want to catch it after the fact, it will be on my podcast platforms. Just click my Linktree in my bio, and you will be linked to any other platforms you listen to podcasts on, so you can catch the whole thing when I eventually release it on there. But as far as this, let me check back over at Wisdom. Oh, people follow me off of there. Oh, that's nice. Stevie follow. Thank you. I appreciate you at Stevie Bug 20. Thank you for the follow. At Ohio 44. Thank you for the follow. I can't talk. And then at just _ B. Thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. And if that's all people wanna, let me see. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's it for episode 116, and that's it for this live stream. So I appreciate y'all. Make sure to click my link tree in my bio. Well, y'all probably heard all that. Just click my socials. My link tree in my bio has everything. So if you want to find my Instagram, YouTube. No, not my Instagram. I'm not the greatest on Instagram. But if you want to find my YouTube, my TikTok, my Twitter, just click my link tree in my bio, or just type in @analytic_dreams. As far as Wisdom, y'all can click my socials in my social media page, and yeah, that's basically it. So if y'all have nothing else, let me see. Okay, yeah, I will catch y'all next time.